Hey friends, how you doing? Welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you are new here. I am the TheTranspondster, and today I'll be doing a speed build in The Sims 4. This build is going to be a lengthy one, so make sure you've got your hot chocolate and your blanket, you're all cozy and bundled up for the long haul, because we're going to be doing a holiday vacation build here. It's not going to have snow until the very end of the build for the purpose of landscaping a little bit better and more accurately. Snowy escape when I did a build for Mount Komorebi, it didn't matter as much because at the base of the mountain there's always snow, so I was able to kind of get away with not landscaping properly. But in this one I wanted to make sure it was done well, because you may visit this a lot in the summertime. Even though the inside will still be decorated for Christmas, you could take that down in your own game. But for the purpose of this video, we are hardcore Christmas. I really like the windows, how I kind of staggered them on the front with and without the shutters. It's got a gate at the front, technically that's like a curvy driveway for this mansion here, but Sims don't have cars, so it's all hypothetical. Like, you can't even see the next house other than that lighthouse way out on the island over there. So the shutters are kind of redundant on this house, if I'm being honest. It's kind of huge. It's going to have multiple living rooms. I don't actually think you see me furnish one in this speed build. It's actually going to be the first one that you walk on into, but I kind of forgot it by the end, so unfortunately you won't see me decorate it, but I always make sure stuff like that ends up in the screenshots. So again, you don't want to miss those at the very end. I made this a vacation rental because, to be honest, I think it's nice to have a lot that you could make. Like, if you have a multi-generational save file that you are deep into and lots of extended family, then you could have your main family book the vacation, come stay here, and then they can host all the dinners and have, I don't know if they can have stayovers on vacations or invite to stay the night, but you could kind of fudge a whole family vacation kind of feel with that, without mods at least. And maybe there's mods out there that you could do multiple households on the same vacation lot, but I don't use a whole lot of mods, so I'm not the one to ask or question for that. Sorry, I can't be more help there. When it comes to this lot, it is 100% not a limited pack build, but for the exterior base and bones of the build, it's mildly base game. There's a couple doors obviously that are not. There's one from Cats and Dogs, one from Strangerville. I can't remember what door I used on the back right now, but I think that one might actually be from base game. And then when it comes to the landscaping, I tend to stick to the world that the pack that the world came with and base game, but I did stray a little bit in this one because I was going for a Christmas feeling lot, and if the flowers did end up poking through, I wanted them to be red. I'm not 100% sure how all the landscaping stuff shows up in live mode all the time, because I don't do a lot of gameplay compared to the amount of building time and create a sim time I have logged in the game. Like, if you take the 5,000 and whatever hours I've poured into The Sims 4, I've probably spent maybe 1,000 of that in gameplay, and granted, some of that gameplay, sort of say, is, testing my builds and having Sims do redundant non-gameplay type things like posing and that sort of thing. So I wouldn't really even consider that gameplay. I am wholeheartedly a builder, but I have been having a whole lot of fun when it comes to gameplay with my not so very let's play that I have going on my channel. If you haven't already checked it out, I highly recommend it. I feel like I'm in a little bit of a lull period right now because our next generation we're doing not so very, so we were the mint generation to start. Now we're on the rose generation, but that rose generation is just an infant, but a fresh infant, and so things are about to start to get interesting again. But we've had this kind of lull period where that infant was a newborn, and it just got kind of boring in my opinion for a few episodes, just the mundane gameplay. Although some people do enjoy watching that, myself kind of included. So, if that's up your alley, you can troop on through that too. But no, I still recommend that Let's Play because overall it is pretty entertaining, or at least eventful. We've been abducted a few times and dated an alien by accident. I didn't know it was an alien, and I was kind of disappointed when we found out. Married Kyle Carlson, so that's fun. But yeah, maybe I'll put this home in my not so very save file and have them vacation here. That would be kind of funny. I haven't talked a whole lot about the build, but to be honest, I spend a lot of time with swatches and everything. You will notice the further we get into this build, the more chimneys we end up with, because I do end up with a fireplace on every floor in this home. So I do try and line the fireplaces up with the chimneys or vice versa, whatever one works better for my interior flow and whatnot. Originally, I was going to put the stairs right at the front door, but the fireplace location was making that difficult, so I ended up rearranging it a little bit, and basically I just turned the stairs. So the downstairs floor plan is pretty open for the most part, but it's still a closed off floor plan, and we get 5 bedrooms in this build, and then the third floor is like an open family rec area. I would say that this is probably most families' typical basement in a home, that kind of room where they've got all the big family game tables and storage and stuff like that. But maybe a home theater. This home's got it all up there, but yeah, it ends up in I guess it's the attic. I also never build 3-story homes. Sims take forever to walk upstairs. This home is not ideal for regular gameplay. So if you do want to enjoy a home like this, a vacation rental is the way to go. So you're very welcome for making that happen for you. And then in the same breath, I'm very sorry for how many packs I use, and for the few that it works for, thank you for downloading it. The downloads on the gallery aren't really what matter. I just have a lot of fun building. So I do get a little bit fancy here with the tool feature. I put a swing set over there. And that's about it. Just a swing set. I maybe think about a bench, but I can't even guarantee that I thought about it until now. So there's definitely no bench over there. It's just that swing set. But I think that's a cute added touch. I put a little playground-esque area in the back for the kids that would be at this home. And you might be thinking, oh my gosh, what are you doing? Putting a pool in what you were calling a holiday vacation rental? guys, you can rent this year round. I feel like I already said that. So, yeah, come here in the summer for a freaking pool party, too. You can do it all here. I get a little fancy with the rocks lately in using them to line like landscaping for me, or line patio areas, I should say. Usually I use the individual rocks that come with base game, but that cluster of rocks did come in pretty handy for the larger area that I wanted to section off. I also, on the other side of the pool, get in horseshoes and a fire pit for like your outdoor retreat style vacation, which is the OG pack that vacation rentals came with. So that's kind of neat, I guess. I don't know, maybe it's not that neat and I'm just saying that. The interior, I want to say, is kind of light toned, but then it goes a little bright and wild when I throw in the living space colors, and then even more so when I get to the bedrooms. I had this dead set focus on green walls, but then the trims on the color green wall that I wanted to use wasn't good for the floor that I had picked, and then I didn't want to change the floor because the floor worked well with the stairs, and it was just this whole thought process for me. And eventually I settled on these two kind of wallpapers. I do change the wallpaper in the downstairs living room because it does end up being a little bit much when it came to actually furnishing it, and I didn't really have the option for wall art or anything like that. It just felt very overboard. So I toned it back with the wallpaper so I could add a little bit more decoration to the home. I do have to admit, my favorite fireplace in this home is that middle one there, like on the second floor. I love the mirror that comes naturally over top. It's what I always aspire to do with my fireplaces. And I like that it's right outside what I would deem the master bedroom. I know I'm just raving about my own build here. I adore the black and white color scheme I got going on with the counters here. I like that the countertops are black because it doesn't look as dirty, I guess. It's easier to keep clean. I don't know. I know it's no different in actual cleanliness, but it just looks cleaner, I think is what I'm trying to say. And then, of course, I had to put an island in the middle because that was just way too much space between the two countertops there. I did something a little fancy with my bar stools, and I off-center two of them so they look a little bit more naturally placed. And of course, the far side of the kitchen does end up being like a coffee bar, breakfast prep area, and the other side is all crammed in with the main appliances. I do throw a dishwasher in because who wants to do dishes when they're on vacation? And your Sims can wash one dish at a time in just as much time in their dishwasher. I do use one very small piece of custom art in this build. It's not that one. I will link it in the description, as I always do. I, at this point, can't remember who I got it from and can't read fast enough to tell you there. But like I said, will be in the video description. So if you're interested, make sure you check that out. It is free, it is base game, it is on the gallery, so very easy for you to get into your game as well. I throw in that new hot chocolate tray too. Felt perfect for this kind of build because, of course, on a winter holiday vacation, you want to get cozy with the hot cocoa because you're not swimming in the pool, and if you are, you certainly need hot cocoa after that. I found out too recently in my own personal gameplay by using that garbage can that I have in the kitchen that is an indoor only garbage can, and that really disappoints me because it's kind of big, and I would deem that as being also an outdoor garbage can appropriate item. So yeah, when I used it as an outdoor garbage can, my game did not like that, and it overflowed and was like, there is no garbage that you can empty this to. So I had to buy another outdoor garbage bin to enter that bin that I had originally thought was an outdoor bin. And it was this whole ordeal for me and my own personal legacy off camera. So sorry you don't get to witness that play out, but here I am telling you about it now. I thought that was a cute little touch I had, placing the wreath over top of the mirror. I feel like it's just a little fun way to decorate. And because I don't know what Sims are spending their holiday here, I got the menorah. Menorah? Oh gosh, I hope that's the right name for it. There's a candlestick for Kwanzaa, and there's a candlestick for Hanukkah in the game, and I use them both because I don't know what your Sims are coming to celebrate. There's a Christmas tree here too, so whatever your heart desires. Maybe you just want to cook a lot of food, celebrate Eid, I don't know. Ignore the snowmen and wreaths everywhere because yeah, they're a little bit overboard. But oh, and I got the candle for Diwali. Come on, guys. I got you covered here. Yeah, that big front room's the one you won't see me decorate, but it's okay. I'll get better. I promise. The build's big. It's a long video. We're already in for a 37-minute haul here, so hang in there. I doubt you'd want to hang in much longer to watch that. I've done a couple videos longer, and it sometimes drags on when I'm doing the voiceover, I'm not gonna lie, but in the same breath some of them fly through, and this one is feeling a little bit like that because I'm a little shocked we're already 17 minutes into this build. It is very green, I'm not gonna lie. I don't think that this is how I would personally decorate an entire home like this. I definitely use a lot of cedar and like evergreen and reds and golds, but I don't know. It just feels like a lot, like a little bit extra. I don't know. I guess it's hard for them to nail everyone's style in the game. I'm sure there's lots of people that feel like theirs wasn't included whatsoever. I definitely don't particularly like the pink Christmas and the blue Christmas. I'm very traditional reds, golds, maybe even silver. You know, there's a song about silver bells, but yeah, I don't know. It's just my style, which my mom got a white Christmas tree, and I'm not a huge fan of it, but she loves her white Christmas tree. And I want to say that there's maybe even pink and purple ornaments on it, which it's cute, but it doesn't scream Christmas to me. Red and green screams Christmas, not pink and purple. Pink and purple remind me of Easter, so anywho. Also, there was no right tree for this vacation lot, I felt, because the first tree I had felt a little bit crazy and clashy with the rest of the Christmas decorations I had going on in the room, the couch and everything. It just felt like a lot. And then this Christmas tree, it feels like the right amount of decoration on the tree itself, but then it's missing a topper, so I'm kind of questioning, is this even a decorated tree? But then there's presents under it, so it must be. Anyway, that's the tree that I ended up sticking with because I felt like it was more to everyone's style. It wasn't one particular color scheme. It kind of had no color scheme. And when it came to artwork and decor, I did try and keep in mind that this is a vacation lot. So, there won't be a lot of personal things like photo frames, stuff like that. I felt like even the fruit bowl might be a little bit too much of a personal decor item because who's here maintaining the freshness of the fruit? But then I immediately discredited that because, if it's a vacation rental, your Airbnb hosts show up right before and prep it for your stay. Or your what is it? Verba. There's a new one out there too. I am under a rock and getting old, so I'm not as hip as I once was. Even when I should have been hip, though, I wasn't really hip. My friends always kept me informed of the newest trends and stuff. I grew up under a rock, literally, and I haven't left. I like being under my rock and oblivious to the world sometimes in my own little happy, somewhat positive bubble to whatever extent I can get it. I clutter up this shelf with board games with the mindset that the families coming here are here for family time, so they've got lots of activities to do together. I also make it friendly for the entire family. We have a changing table. You can maybe see on the rug there, I've got the infant mat. I added some toys next to the Christmas tree too, as though they were maybe there for Christmas, which I thought was a cute little added touch because your Sims can play with them, and then for storylines and gameplay, it also ties in a little bit there. There's music items galore. We get the fancy violin in here, a guitar, like a formal piano, not just a keyboard. And I'm really just trying to clutter up all the corners now. I felt like that banquet table from my wedding stories was perfect with the green garland kind of coming off of it. I don't know if it's garland, but whatever greenery is on the table, it just matched with everything else I had going on in the room. So it popped in there, and they have a gravy fountain now, which also felt festive and like holiday dinner vibes to have gravy. Gravy galore. I also go candle galore. I don't know if you've noticed that yet. Here's where I give up on the bottom floor and I'm like, okay, time for something other than living rooms right now. So I hop on into the bedroom, I bang out the bathrooms, and then I get the other bedrooms done as well. I feel like it went by fairly quickly to do the bedrooms because I kept them pretty minimal. There is basically zero personality in any of them. There's hardly any clutter. The clutter that is there is like a lamp and maybe a plant that needs low maintenance or some books. Nothing too crazy or, again, personal because this is a vacation rental. So they're nice and boring and quick to decorate because there is not really, if you're going realistic, a lot of clutter in vacation rentals. And how many times am I going to say that in this build? I do have some regrets about not turning the snow on sooner because once we stop decorating all the Christmas and the bottom floor, it does kind of start to feel like just your average home. But I don't know. Once I hit the upper floor again, it starts to get that fun vibe back because I was like, how much stuff can I really jam in this top floor and make it full? And like your Sims come here and they have access to things that they're not going to have regular access to at home. Hit up those moodlets that you don't typically get. Or even better, come here and forget your hobby items at home, and I got you covered hardcore. I got your pets covered too. If you saw that cat scratching post, and you may have noticed earlier on when we were in the kitchen, I got some bowls down there and the pet bed in the living room. So all your animals can come and enjoy the holidays with you as well, with the exception of your horse. You may have to leave them behind in their stable, unfortunately. Actually, I don't know what would happen with a horse if your sim left it on vacation. Like, can you bring a horse on vacation? I can't say I have played with horses enough to know the actual answer to that. And if you have been here a good chunk of time, you know that that's a trend, me not having answers to gameplay. If you're new, welcome again. That's a trend here. I don't have gameplay answers. I learn as I go, and if you tune into that Let's Play I was telling you about, that is very, very apparent, which I don't think it's that bad of a thing. I think it's an honest, quirky thing. Yeah. We'll say that. We'll say that. It's hard to believe how long I've played this game. I remember hopping on a bus, going to the mall right when it opened so that I could go to the video game store in the mall and be the first one in there to buy this game. And at the time, I was a Mac player, and I was absolutely crushed, devastated, spirits flown away that the game was not available on Mac. So one of my friends at the time was also a Sims player, and she had gotten Sims 4. So we would hang out and have Sims dates, and I would get to play Sims 4 sometimes. We played a lot of Sims 3 too, but I would get to play Sims 4 and dabble in that before it became available on PC. Or, sorry, Mac. Or maybe I got a PC. I don't know what came first out of those two. But either way, Sims became in my hands about a year after it came out. And in that year that it was released, I was still avidly playing, just through someone else's account. So, yeah. Yeah, 5,000 hours and what? Sims 4's been out 10 years, right? 2025. We're not even in 2025. 2015 the game came out, I think. No, 2013. I don't even know, guys. The game came out at some point in some year at some time ago, and I've been playing a long time. And there was no other moral to that story, I don't think. Anywho, when it came to the bedrooms, I did 2 of the rooms on one side of the house with 2 double beds. Those are on top of the master bedroom, and then the other 2 rooms that I put 2 single beds in the one for child Sims, because technically your teen Sims could go hang out in those double beds. And then in the other room, I really, really cram in here 2 toddler beds and 2 cribs, along with a changing table. So there's no toys or activities in there, but remember, downstairs by the Christmas tree, and then we haven't gone in upstairs yet, but we will get you covered on that upper floor for toys and activities and whatnot for, honestly, all ages of Sims. I do also make sure to include a potty, so I got you covered there as well. Your infants bring their own diapers, so I didn't have to worry about that. I got you a garbage and a changing table, which sometimes is better than what my Sims have in their own home. Sometimes that garbage can doesn't fit attached to the changing table. I'm constantly picking up diapers one at a time. Again, flashbacks to my not so very Let's Play right now. Okay, so here is this infamous third floor that I keep talking about, where right off the bat, I throw in there a juice pong table. That's right, guys. Beer pong in The Sims is juice pong, and we got that table covered because, of course, we want to make this feel like a frat house. Why wouldn't we? No, I just feel like this has family basement vibes, but it is on the wrong level of the house. It's got your ratty old furniture stored away that has been replaced and that people don't want handed down to them, so now it's just gone to die in a room in your house. But it's like the fun game room, so the kids get really, really good use out of it. And it's not the only sofa on this floor. We actually get, again, like 3 living rooms here. How many living rooms do I have to build in this home to be real? When it comes to wall art, pretty minimal upstairs. I load the walls up with this movie theater TV, and over by the ping pong table, I've got the scoreboards and stuff. I throw a Murphy bed up here. I don't know how many Sims you plan on inviting to Christmas, but however many, you will absolutely, like, every sim has a proper spot to sleep. Nobody needs to nap on a couch before they're napping on the couch. They got a sleeping bag on the floor. You haven't seen them yet, but there will also be 2 sleeping bags on this level. Like, you can't find more places to sleep than in this vacation rental. I haven't counted them yet, but like with the Murphy bed, you have 1, 2. I have 2 sleeping bags. That's 3, 4. The 2 twin beds, 6. 4 beds in the toddler infant room. The master, and then the 2 other double beds is 6 more. So you could hypothetically fit 16 Sims sleeping here. Heck, you could have another infant sleeping on the floor and get 17 Sims sleeping here. Add your dog in, your cat, that's 18, 19. I feel like you could really push it to comfortably sleep 20 Sims here. Pets in the mix. You know, like, what more could you ask for in a vacation rental? Holy, that's nuts for me to sit here and think about. No wonder it felt like a lot to furnish. I mean, I knew it was a lot to furnish before, during, after I did it, but yeah, wow, lots of space covered here. I mean, it is a 64 by 64 lot, tucked away in Brindleton Bay, so, which I kind of like that I made this a vacation rental. I thought about making it originally. I wanted to do like a bed and breakfast, so I was thinking about doing it with for rent and making it room rentals as opposed to full apartments, and then they'd share the common spaces, so it would feel bed and breakfast esque, but it's like a long term bed and breakfast. But I just decided to go this route instead, and I feel like I actually like how it turned out this way a little bit better than had I gone the bed and breakfast route. I feel like it also leaves more room for me to put different rentals in all the different worlds, because again, this is for a save file. If you are new here, I'm saying again, like, you know, but you wouldn't know, I'm making a realistic save file, and I'm basing all of the sim worlds off of real places to an extent in the game, and creating a somewhat realistic save file. So yeah, and I'm also redoing townies, like making them over, rebuilding their homes, doing all the community lots, everything to the nines. I'm adding Sims in, giving them storylines, everything. Got you covered, all bases. So yeah, this home, if you're wondering, Brindleton Bay, I've got based off of Maine. So, you know, very Cape Cod, lots of shingles, light colors, kind of beachy feeling. But yeah, I don't know why when I hear Maine, I picture cloudy and rainy, and lobsters. I feel like that's very generic as someone who's never left Canada. Very maybe stereotypical thinking. But yeah, that's what someone who's never experienced anything really culturally like that thinks. If you're interested, which you probably aren't, and it's getting to that point in the video where I'm starting to get a little rambly, and I feel like it's maybe close enough to those screenshot flip throughs, walkthrough, whatever video you want to call it, that I do at the end of these speed builds. The landscaping's always the tedious last bit that I do, along with some last minute lighting tweaks. So I'm going to start my goodbye spiel to save you from any more rambling, and I'm going to thank you so much, first of all, for hanging out with me this long. 37 minutes is a long time to listen to somebody talk, and then on top of that, there's the added bits at the end, so it's not even just a 37-minute video. This is truly a long haul for you guys, and I really appreciate you for still being here if you are. And that being said, if you could honestly leave a like or a comment, it helps me big time with the algorithm, and it's always so appreciated. I get excited for every little ping, and I try and respond to them all the best I can. If I'm not, distracted or at work, I tend to not forget about them and come back to them later. So yeah, at least for now, I can manage that, and it's fun connecting with other sim players. I like knowing that there's other grown-ups out there playing the game with me, and that it doesn't have to die with your teenage and childhood years. This game can live on for a lifetime. But yeah, again, don't forget to comment, like, subscribe. Most importantly, have a wonderful rest of your day, and thank you so much again for hanging out this long with me. Have a good one. Bye, guys.